You are watching Junior Certificate Mathematics lesson, and today we are looking at Revision Mathematics Paper 2. These are structured questions, so make sure that you have with you a calculator. Here you are allowed to use a calculator, and you must make sure that you have it, as well as a set of mathematical instruments. Now let's have a look at the revision questions and work them out. The first revision question says, express 3 over x minus 2 over x plus 1 as a single fraction. So these are algebraic fractions, and then we are expected to express this, that is 3 over x minus 2 over x plus 1 as a single fraction. So let's work it out. 3 is 3 over x minus 2 over x plus 1. If you have a question like this, all that you need to do is to look for the lowest common multiple of x and x plus 1. Just have a look at this. If you have 2 over 3 plus 1 over 2, to find the LCM of this, you simply multiply 3 and 2. So even here, you are just going to multiply x and x plus 1. So let's multiply that. It will be x, then inside the bracket, x plus 1. Let's not open the brackets here, because the importance is not to open up the brackets. It is important to work out the numerator, not the denominator. So the lowest common multiple will just be x, open the brackets, x plus 1. And then x into x, x plus 1. The x here cancels this x, then we'll have x plus 1. So it will be x plus 1 times 3. So this will just be 3 times x plus 1 minus 2, and then x plus 1 into x times x plus 1. X plus 1 cancels x plus 1, and then this simply means you are remaining with x. So this will be x times minus 2, which is minus 2x. And then let's now work out, or rather let's simplify the numerator. The 3 here is multiplying everything inside the bracket. So make sure that both the x and 1 are multiplied by the 3 outside the bracket. So it will be 3 times x, which is 3x, plus 3 times 1 is 3 minus 2x divided by x, x plus 1. And then let's collect the like terms. We have 3x and minus 2x. So 3x and minus 2x are like terms. So we'll have 3x minus 2x plus 3 divided by x times x plus 1. And then this will give us 3x minus 2x. This is equals to x. 3x minus 2x is x, plus 3 divided by x times x plus 1. So we have managed to express the fractions 3 over x minus 2 over x plus 1 is a single fraction. This is how we express it. Upon expressing it as a single fraction, we got x plus 3 divided by x times x plus 1. This is how you express an algebraic fraction as a single fraction. And then the next revision question. Question number 2. The time in Brazil is 5 hours behind the time in Botswana. A football game started at 17 hours in Brazil. What is the time in Botswana when the game started? So we are told that the game started at 1700 hours in Brazil. And then what is the time in Botswana when the game started? The information is here. It says the time in Brazil is 5 hours behind. So Botswana is behind Brazil by 5 hours. So if the game started at 17 hours in Brazil, what was the time in Botswana? This will simply be 1700 plus 500. The 5 here should be under hours. you don't just write it anyway. It has to be under hours because we are told that it's 5 hours behind. Brazil is 5 hours behind, so we just have to add the 5 hours to the 1700 there, and then we will get this as 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus this 0 is 0, and then 7 plus 5 is 12, carry 1, and then a 2 here, because it's 1 plus the 1 that we came out from the 7 plus 5, so it's 2200, meaning it's 10 o'clock in the evening. So the answer is, this is equals to 2200 hours. It's 2200 hours. So this is the answer to the question, 22 hours. And then what about the next revision question? Question number 3. Factorize x squared minus 5x plus 6. This is a quadratic expression, and then it says you have to factorize it. It doesn't say solve, it says factorize. So with the expressions you cannot solve, you can only factorize. So we have to check. It's x squared minus 5x plus 6. The coefficient of x squared is 1, so this will be 1 times, and then the constant term is 6, so this will be 1 times 6, which is equals to 6. And then you look for the factors of 6 such that when you multiply them you will get 6, but when you add them you will get negative 5, and these factors are minus 3 and negative 2. Minus 3 times minus 2 is positive 6, and then minus 3 plus minus 2 is negative 5. So this will simply mean we will have x squared minus 3x minus 2x plus 6. We just have to write the middle term here, minus 5x, using these factors, minus 3 and minus 2. So we just expand minus 5 and write it using the two factors, minus 3 and minus 2. So we now factorize the first two terms, x out. Then x into x squared is x. X into minus 3x is minus 3. And then the last two terms, minus 2x plus 6. What is the common factor here? It's minus 2. And then minus 2 into minus 2x is x. Minus 2 into positive 6 is negative 3. And this is simply saying we are having x minus 3, x minus 2. So the answer to our question is x minus 3 times x minus 2. This is how we factorize. All that you need to do is to look for the coefficient of x squared in this case, and then multiply the coefficient of x squared by the constant term. In this case, the constant term is 6, so it's going to be 1 times 6, which is 6, and then we look for the factors of 6 such that when we multiply them we are going to get 6, but when we add them we'll get minus 5. So those factors are minus 3 and minus 2. Minus 3 minus 2, when we add them we get minus 5, and then we factorize by grouping. This is how we do it. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with our discussion. Welcome back from the short break. We are at question number 4 of our revision exercise. And question number 4 says, the table below shows the heights of 8 men in a team and their corresponding shoe sizes. Use it to answer questions that follow. So we have a table here. We have been asked to use it. We are told that a man with height 144 centimeters, the shoe size is 6, 145 centimeters, the shoe size is 7, and then 145 height, the shoe size is 6, 160, shoe size 9, and then 160 also, the shoe size is 8, and then there is another man of height 165 with shoe size 9, and then 170 with shoe size 10, and then the last man with height 175 of shoe size 11. Then question number 8 says, plot the points for a scatter diagram in the pair of axes below. So you have been told that you have to produce a scatter diagram. And let's plot these points and find out if at all we'll be able to produce the scatter diagram. We have 146, so let's plot the point 140 and then a 6. It's 146. So the point 146 is here. And then the next point from the table is 145, 7. So let's plot the point 145, 7. 145 along the x-axis, 7 along the y-axis. So it's 145, 7 is here. And then the next point that we expected to plot is 145, 6. So we have to plot another point, 145, 6 is here. And then the next point, it's 169. It's 160 along the x-axis, then 9 up. So it's 160 and then 9 is here. The next point, 168. It's 160 along the x-axis, 8 up. So the point is here. And then the next point, 165, 9. So let's plot the point 165, 9. 165 is here and then 9 is here. We need to check. That is 165, 9. Okay. And then we have the other point is 170, 10. 170, 10. 170 is here and then the point is here, 170, 10. The last point is 175, 11. So it's 175 along the x-axis, 175, 11. It's here. So we have managed to plot all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points. We managed to plot the 8 points. This is how we plot it. And it's a scatter diagram. And then let's answer. We have answered part A, which says plot the points for a scatter diagram in the pair of axes below. So by just plotting these points, we have answered part A. And then what about part B? Part B says describe the relationship between height and shoe size using your graph. So all that we're expected to do is to describe the relationship between the shoe size and the height. By saying describe the relationship, this question is simply asking for correlation. And in correlation, it's either we talk about the positive correlation. So the question is, when do we have positive correlation? If we have a set of points where you have this, and you find that as one quantity increases, the other one increases as well. This is what we call the positive correlation. And then if we have a situation where upon increasing one side, the other one decreases, that is, if your points are taking this form, then this is what we call the negative correlation. And in a situation where the points are scattered all over, that is, you cannot draw a conclusion out of it, the points are scattered all over, then here there is no correlation. There is no correlation. So the question at B says describe the relationship between height and shoe size using your graph. So we need to check, is this a positive or negative correlation? We can see that as one side increases, the other side also increases. So this is a positive correlation. So instead of writing these long sentences, you just need to write positive correlation, because here by saying describe, the question is simply asking you to state the correlation. So you just need to write positive correlation. So this is the positive correlation. So we have answered part B. You just need to check, are the points increasing while the other one is decreasing, or both the sides are increasing? That is, when you increase one side, the other one also increases. If at all one side is increasing as well as the other side, then that is what we call the positive correlation. But if you find that one side is increasing while the other one is decreasing, then that is a negative correlation. So with regard to this question, this was a positive correlation. And then what about the next question? Draw a line of best fit for the scatter diagram. So you are expected to draw the line of best fit. But then how do you draw the line of best fit? You draw the line of best fit by inspection. You just need to look at your points. This is our graph here, and it says draw the line of best fit. You draw the line of best fit by inspection. When you draw the line of best fit, you make sure that the line is passing closer to most of the points. I'm not saying it's passing through most of the points, but it has to pass closer to most of the points, and you draw it by inspection. So according to this question, our line of best fit will be here. So this will be the line of best fit. When we check here, we can see that most of the points are closer to this line. The number of points on one side, on this case, is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points on one side, and then the other one, 3. So the line is passing closer to most of the points. That's how you draw the line of best fit. It has to pass closer to most of the points, and you draw it by inspection. I want to believe we are done with question. This question C, because it says draw a line of best fit for the scatter diagram. We have drawn the line of best fit. And then D. D says a 9th man who wants to join the team has a shoe size of 10.5. Use the line of best fit to estimate the height of the man. So there's a man who wants to join this team, and then this man is having a shoe size of 10.5, and then we are to estimate his height. So how are we going to estimate his height? We just go back to the graph. Shoe size 10.5. 10.5 is somewhere here. .5 is somewhere here. So we just need to draw that line. Let's check if we can be able to draw the line. It's here. And then when we get here, when we meet the line, we now go down. We are here, so let's go down. It's here. So from 10.5, go horizontally till a point where you meet the line. When you meet the line, you go down. Then you find the value from the bottom there. From this is 170, and then we have 175 is here. So this is probably 174. So the height of this man will be 174, and we just need to write it. It says estimate the height of the man, and according to the line of best fit that we have drawn there, the height of this man is 174 centimeters. 174. centimeters. We got this from our graph, and somebody might have got 173. The person is still correct because the question says estimate. We just need an answer which is closer to the true one. So somebody might have got 173, 174. Still the answer is correct. So this is how we do it. And we are working on mathematics paper 2, which are structured questions where you are allowed to use your calculator. So let's go back to the revision question, question number 5, and work it out. Question number 5 says the number of students should be the number of students in a school decreased by 5%. After the decrease, there are 475 students in the school. Calculate the number of students before the decrease. So here we are told that the number of students has decreased by 5%, and after this percentage decrease, the students number now is 475. So you are expected to calculate the number of students before this decrease. So this is just a reverse percentage. You are given the number after the decrease. So let's work it out. It's the 5%. It's 5 divided by 100 times the value y, where y is the number of students before the decrease. So we can assign the letter y to be the number of students before the decrease. So it's a 5 over 100 times y, and we need to subtract this from y because y is the total number of students. So we calculate the 5% of y and then subtract that from y. This should give us, it has to give us 475, 475. And then this simply means y minus 5y divided by 100, it's equals to 475. And then we can now multiply everything here by 100. When we multiply y here by 100, becomes 100y minus 5y is equals to 475 times 100. And then 100y minus 5y is 95y. 95y is equals to 475 times 100, so it's 0, 0. And then we can divide by 95. Divide here by 95 as well. So y is equals to 475, rather 470, it's 47500 divided by 95. So you can take our calculator and then work this out. We just need to divide 47,500 by 95. And when divide 47,500 by 95, this will be 500. So y is equals to 500. 500. Meaning, before the 5% decrease, these students were 500. So the value of y is 500. And let's check what the question said. The question said calculate the number of students before the decrease. So the number of students before the decrease is 500. And this is how we work it out. And remember, this is not the only way to work this question out. You can as well work out the 95% of y is equals to 475. All that we are going to have is, you can have 95 y divided by 100 is equals to 475. And then where does the 95 come from? If we don't decrease or increase the number of students, it will be 100%. But because we are decreasing them, it's going to be 100 minus 5, giving us 95. So it will be 95y over 100 is equals to 475. And then we can multiply both sides by 100. Multiply also here by 100. The 100 cancels the 100, so you are remaining with 95y is equals to 475, 0, 0. And then we can divide both sides by 95, divide by 95. Your y will be 500, like what we got in the first method there. So the value of y, which is the number of students before the 5% decrease, is 500. And let's move on to the next revision question. It says expand the expression 2x minus 3 squared. So the expression is 2x minus 3 squared. This is equals to 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. It is not equals to 2x squared minus 3 squared. No, this is not what 2x minus 3 all squared is equals to. All that you need to do is to multiply 2x minus 3 by itself 2 times. So usually students have got a tendency of writing 2x squared minus 3 in this case, and it's not the correct thing that to do over here. This is supposed to be 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. So let's work out 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. We will take the 2x and then multiply the term inside the second bracket, which is 2x minus 3 by 2x. So all in all, we will have 2x times 2x minus 3. And then multiply the term inside the second bracket also by minus 3. So it will be minus 3 times 2x minus 3. Now we have 2x, open the bracket, 2x minus 3, minus 3 times 2x minus 3. And then this will be 2x times 2x is 4x squared. And then 2x times minus 3, it's minus 6x. Minus 3 times minus 2x, it's minus 6x. And then minus 3 times minus 3 is positive 9. So we have 4x squared minus 6x plus 9. So this will be equals to 4x squared minus 6x is minus 12x. Minus 12x plus 9. So this is simply saying, when we open up the brackets from 2x minus 3 all squared, you are going to get 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. All that you need to do is to multiply 2x by itself 2 times. And then, what about the last revision question? Kagiso invested 1,000 pula at compound interest. Kagiso invested 1,000 pula at compound interest rate of 10% per annum. Calculate the total amount of money he will have after 2 years. All that you can do here is to calculate the 10% of 1,000, then get the value. After getting the value, this question is saying the interest is compounded onto the principal. So this simply means if we are to find the compound interest here, we are going to say, let's find out the first interest, simple interest. It will be the principal, which is 1,000, times the rate, which is 10, times 1 divided by 100. And then this will cancel this one will cancel this, and then 10 times 10 is 100. So this is 100. And then the interest for the second year, rather the principal for the second year, that is P2, it's 1,000 plus the interest, which is 100. So the principal for the second year is 1,100. So this is the principal for the second year. And then you just calculate the simple interest using your principal as 1,100. This is the new principal for the second year. The interest is compounded onto the second year. So 1,100 will be the principal for the second year. And then work out the interest for the second year. And then after getting it, you will add it to 1,100. That will be the amount after 2 years. And before we part, I want to encourage you to make sure that when you work out these questions, you do have with you a calculator, because you are going to use a calculator, a set of mathematical instruments. Those are the two resources which are of paramount when you work out these questions. You need to have them. If you don't have them, you are going to have a situation where you keep borrowing. And sometimes when we borrow, you will have a hazard of saying, can I have a calculator? And somebody is still working out using the calculator or the instrument. So it is important that you have your own, so that you don't intervene anybody when working out these questions. And then from me, until we meet again in the next lesson, goodbye.